Hello everyone, my name is Aka and welcome to my channel. The first thing I would like to say before I even get into this video is thank you so much to each and every one of you who has been subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate all your support. The numbers have been steadily growing and we are growing organically, and I'm so proud of each and every one of us who has taken the time to subscribe. It means so much to me and I really appreciate it. If you watched some of my videos but you have not yet subscribed, please, I implore you to consider subscribing, as it's really encouraging for me to continue to create content if I can physically see that people are appreciating it. So please consider subscribing. You guys, this is totally off topic, but I've been breaking out again, and oh my gosh, this time it's something else. The elephant in the room, that these were pimples, scarring here. And also this side I had some, but I wasn't picking them. So these ones haven't done too much damage apart from the discoloration. And this side as well. So I've been overwhelmed. I'd really love to know some of your skincare treatments, please. Your skincare routines. Please share with me if you're willing. I really appreciate. Anyway, let's get back to today's video. If this is the first video of mine that you're watching, hi, my name is Aka. I'm a mother of 2 and I live in Osaka, Zambia. I make lifestyle content. In today's video, I would like to talk about separation anxiety. So as I have mentioned, I'm a mother of 2. I have a 7-year-old and now a 4-year-old. So they both had birthdays this past 2 months. My son turned 7 and my daughter turned 4. So when my daughter turned 4, she started school. She started preschool. As I've mentioned on other videos, I start my children in school at the age of 4. So she started school and she's been going to school for, this is now week 4. And I have to tell you, it has not been easy. It really has not been easy. So I mentioned in my previous video that my daughter and I have been together almost every single day of her life. So we're very, very, very close. She's a typical mommy's girl. But for months, she has been begging me to go to school, and I've been putting it off because I wasn't ready, but she was ready. And, eventually when she turned 4, we signed her up and she was so excited to start going to school. She packed her bags weeks in advance and she was so excited. She was telling everyone that she knew that she was starting school and she was excited about getting homework. It was just, very exciting for her, and it was reassuring for me, because I thought that once she started school, maybe, okay, so with my son, when he started school, obviously there was the separation anxiety there as well. He would cry and tell me he didn't want to go to school, and it would be very upsetting. And oh man, as a mother, it breaks your heart when you are almost forcing your child to do something that they don't want to do, but ultimately you know that it's for their own good. So every day I'd take him to school and it would break my heart. But there's some techniques that I used to sort of help, and I think that really helped in a big way to get him acclimated to school and to get him used to the routine. So one of the things I did was I gave him a photo of me and his sister. First, I gave him a small passport size photo of me, which he lost on the first day. And then I gave him a bigger photo of me and his sister, which he carried around in his bag with him. I think it was in there for pretty much, probably like a year. So at some point he didn't really even need it, but he just carried it around with him. And then I also gave him a key holder, which was heart-shaped. I told him to look at it each time he missed me, and that seemed to help. And by about the second week, he was a little more enthusiastic about going to school, but still dragging his feet, but not to the extent where it was really impacting both of us. Yeah, so when my daughter started school, I thought maybe we would avoid that phase because she really insisted on going to school, and her brother goes to the same school. So I just felt like it might be easier that way. And the first day of school was really good. She was so excited. She jumped out of the car. I took her to school, to class, and her teacher was really sweet.
Sorry. Grandma. Say bye to Granny.
I'll see you. Okay. Bye. Have fun, okay? Lots of fun. Okay, I'm coming in 4 hours, okay?
Say bye.
Have fun. Turns out her teacher actually taught my son as well. So she's been taken by a teacher whom I know and I think is absolutely fantastic. And she also knew her. So that was sort of helpful. So the first and second day was good. Picked her up, happy as can be, and yeah. And then on the third day now, she expressed that she didn't want to go to school. And it was in a big way. It was a big thing. We were about to go to bed and she started crying about how she didn't want to go to school, how she wished she hadn't started school, how she wanted to stay home with me. And it was really, really emotional for all of us, including my son. She was crying. I was crying too. My son was telling her not to cry because seeing her cry made him feel like he wants to cry too. As a family, it was intense and very emotional. And I didn't enjoy that experience. How you know, I should cry. Only 4 when I went. Anyway, what can we do with life? I didn't want her to see that. But I convinced her to go. So when I went to school the next day, I had to reassure her that I'd be parked outside waiting for her. And also, I just had to cross-check a few things. Because when I did her registration, I was told that they knock off at 12:30, but it turns out they actually knock off at 12:10. So she was waiting for a good 20 minutes for me to come pick her up. And they went to the playground. There were bigger children, so she was feeling a little bit intimidated. And you know that feeling when you're new, you don't have friends. So I think that made her really sad. The teacher saw the situation, how upset she was getting, because she wouldn't let go of me. She just kept hugging me. So the teacher saw the situation and told me that I could come and pick her up early at 12 so that she would be the first one to leave. And like that would kind of help her mentally to know that she would be going home early. And also I told her that I'd be parked outside waiting for her. So that we did that. And also I gave her a little pendant, a little pineapple pendant, really cute, to keep and to look at it each time she missed me, like I did with her brother. I tried to give her a photo, but my son actually told me that the photo made him feel more sad. So we dished the photo idea. My mom gave her a necklace as well, so she takes that with her. And then now my best friend bought her some bracelet, charm bracelet, the actual charms on the bracelet. So we put those charms on the necklace that grandma gave her. So now she's 45. She has the pineapple pendant, and she has the necklace, and she has the charms from Auntie Nadine. So that has helped a lot. She still expresses that she doesn't want to go to school, but it's not as insistent or as forceful as before. So it's been very helpful. And then another thing I did is we started taking walks. So every day after I pick her up, since she knocks off approximately 40 minutes before my son, so every day after I pick her up, we'll go for a nice long walk, just the two of us, and we'll just talk and have fun and buy ice cream or freeze it. And I just spent some mommy and daughter time. So that she was looking forward to that. Even now she looks forward to it. So every morning as I'm dropping her off and I can see she's a little bit apprehensive and she kind of wants to go back into that mode, I just go, oh, so where do you want to go today? Should we go this way or should we go that way? And it like snaps her out of that emotional moment where she just wants to go home, and snaps her back to school, and she engages, she tells me where she wants to go, and I'm really excited. I say, oh yeah, that's wonderful, we're going to have such a nice walk as soon as we're done with school. I love you, have fun, that's the most important thing, learn, and I'm proud of you for not crying. And yeah, that has really been very helpful. So the next video that I'm going to post on this channel is a video of me and my daughter going on a walk. Just like to show you sort of what we get up to, and it's also just nice scenery in a beautiful neighborhood, some mother and daughter bonding that I think is important to happen, and it might be helpful to someone out there if you're dealing with separation anxiety with new school going children. There's something you might consider doing that might help you as well. I hope you found this video to be helpful. These are just some of the mechanisms that I've found that help with dealing with separation anxiety. And I know as a mother, it's so heartbreaking to see your child cry. And I actually reached the point where I was thinking to myself, you know what? School is not that important. It's not that important. She can just stay home with me for the rest of her life, and I'll know she's safe, and I'll protect her from the world. Because when a child starts school, you are introducing other elements that have potential to influence your child. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking, even for a parent. So yeah, you also have to be mentally prepared as a parent and just support your child in the process. Let them know that school is an important part of life. We all have to go through it. We all have to learn. We all have to learn to be away from our parents, but that at the end of the day, we all get to go home. Oh, I nearly forgot. I can't believe I nearly forgot this. This has been so helpful over the past week. How could I forget this? So, there's a cartoon. There's a cartoon that is called Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. It's about this little tiger who lives in this neighborhood with all these different animals and humans. And every episode, a situation is presented, which is an opportunity for Daniel to learn something. So it's a very nice cartoon. I really enjoy it. Even for my son, he used to watch it. And now for my daughter, there's an episode where Daniel starts school. And Daniel is very excited about starting school, of course, just like she was. And when he goes to school, his dad tells him that he now has to go to work at the clock factory. And Daniel is freaking out because he didn't realize that he actually has to be at school on his own. He asks his dad to stay, but then his dad tells him that he actually has to go to work. He can't stay, but that he will come and pick him up. And they sing this little song which goes, "Grown-ups come back." So when Daniel hears that, it sort of reassures him that his dad is going to come back and that he's going to have fun at school. So they show us Daniel going through his first day of school and just how he navigates his emotions and what he does. And at the end of the day, his dad comes to pick him up. And it reassures him that, yeah, for real, grown-ups do come back. So even if I go to school, my mommy is going to come and pick me, or my dad is going to come and pick me up. So when my daughter watched that last week, I could tell she was really impacted by it. And she has been addicted to watching Daniel Tiger since then. And I'm so happy about that because it teaches so many other wonderful lessons like anger management. There's an episode where one of the characters was angry and one of the adults taught them how to cope with that anger. There's an episode about jealousy. There's an episode about sharing. It's just, I think it's a really wholesome cartoon, and I would highly recommend it to any parent. Let your children watch Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. It's really good. And it's a good teaching aid for parents. Sometimes you can say things and they hear them, but they don't understand them until they see like an actual scenario where what you're saying could actually happen. So yeah, if you're looking for a good recommendation for a show for your children, Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, it's on YouTube. It's also on Netflix. So yeah, go check it out. Tell me what you think. And if you try it with your children, what do they think? And has it helped them? So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. I just thought I'd hop on here really quickly and just talk to you guys about something that I think as parents is when a child starts school is a big milestone, and we don't talk enough about just how it impacts both the parents and the children. And also, I honestly, like, I have friends whose children start school and I don't really hear the behind the scenes or the workings of like going to school. How does that really happen? Is it just smooth? You drop them off, they go. No one talks about this part where both of you are crying. The other one doesn't want to school, and you as a parent, you're sad because your child is sad. It's kind of very emotionally charged, I'm telling you. And yeah, it's really affected me a lot these past few weeks. But finally, I feel like we're kind of getting to a point where we're both getting used to the idea of her going to school. And yeah, it's beginning to be less sad and less dramatic. And we're both embracing our new normal. So her new normal is school in the morning, and me, it's been home in the morning without the children, which is very strange. The house without my children is just really weird. And I'm really not used to it. And I've been lucky because the first day of school, my mom was here and my little sister. So on her first day of school, I was crying. I cried the whole time, from the time I dropped her off to the time I went to pick her up. And my mom kept telling me that like she can sense my emotions. So I must kind of not put out this sadness to her, which she then absorb, and then it will make the whole separation thing worse. So I was in tears the first day, but my mom and both my little sisters were here that day, so that helped. And then the 2 weeks after that, I was kind of in a blur because I was now home and I didn't have her here with me. So I'll just sit for an hour, just like not even knowing what to do, because I'm so used to taking care of the children. Like whatever I do is something for them or to them. And so now I'm just here and there's no one saying, Mommy, I need this or I need that. So it took me a while. I'll just sit here, just think, and I'll just kind of like stare off and kind of mindlessly scroll on my phone. And before I know it, an hour is gone and I can't really account for what I've done. So yeah, it was kind of like both of us were readjusting to our new realities. And yeah, I think this is the first week, and then the next week my little sister was home for school holidays, so at least I had her around with me, so I wouldn't think so much about the whole scenario. So this is sort of the first week I am mentally okay. I'm not worrying about her. I'm just getting into it, which is why I'm making this video. I always felt like, I actually said in my last video, when she starts school, I'm going to have all this time, I'm going to do all this content stuff. But honestly, like my mind has really not been in it because I've been so worried about my daughter. She's my baby girl. And like, when your mind is really not there, you can't really, at least for me, I can't really produce content that I'm proud of and that I feel people who take the time to subscribe to me deserve. I'm very critical about myself in terms of what I put out on this channel. And so I always want to put out my best. So if my mind is not okay, I'm probably not going to make content. Or if I make the content, it will not be to my standard and I'll end up just scrapping it during the editing process. So yeah, this is the first week I'm feeling good enough to kind of get on with my day and yeah, kick this whole content creation thing into gear and just get life going. So yeah, everybody, if you have taken the time to watch this very long video, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. I look forward to reading your comments. How did you cope with the first day of school for each of your children? And the thing I thought is, if you've got one child in school, it gets easier. No, it's difficult for every child. If I had a third child, it would probably be just as bad, this feeling the first day of school. So yeah, tell me some of your strategies that you use to cope with the first day blues or the first week or first week's blues with your children starting school. I'd really love to hear that. And I think it would also be helpful to other parents whose children are starting school soon to help them with some strategies for both them and the child to cope with being away from each other for the first time because of school. So please don't forget to bring those comments. Please, let's help each other. I want this channel to be a place for parents, for human beings to interact and share ideas, share knowledge, and just like grow and build with each other. That would be my ideal situation in an ideal world. So I'm looking forward to seeing those comments. I have nieces who will be starting school eventually, and already I'm already feeling that the sadness of letting them go already, and it's like, oh. So yeah, I could still do with some pointers about how to handle it next. Yeah, so yeah, if you watch this video, thank you one more time for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you who subscribe. You guys don't even know. I don't even have words to adequately convey how grateful I am to all of you guys. It really encourages me to continue. So on that note, I will see you in the next video. Bye. Is good, and just some mother and don't. Oh wait, hey, Simpa. Oh, Simpa. Hey.